Hey yo everybody, it's Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another episode of Coaster Spotlight. Today we're going to be looking at Lemon and Lime, created by Medaele, a builder in this community, and here they say. Introducing Lemon and Lime, originally built in 1972. This dueling wooden coaster ran strong for 30 years before Lemon Station Lift Hill caught fire, shutting down the ride. 15 years later, an overseas philanthropist purchased the site, planning to rebuild both coasters as dueling hybrid coasters. After Lemon was finished being rebuilt, it was determined it would cost too much to convert Lime into a hybrid as well, so the project was never finished. The community loved that it was left the way it was, as they still had a classic Love the Coaster on the side or a new, more intense ride on the other to choose from. Boom. Very interesting concept here today. We have basically a RMC hybrid steel top versus an old school wooden coaster, and they are dueling in ways. Based off the little backstory provided here, I think it's even more fun, as one of the rides is intact the way it was, but the hybrid was built around it to sort of duel with it. So while they may not be perfectly in sync at all times, as you can see from the B-roll, it lines up pretty well. Gets some interesting shots and unique aspects that I haven't seen before in a dueling coaster. So definitely something I haven't really seen coming from a builder. It's looking fantastic. So why don't we jump right on into it, starting with the classic Woody. All right, first up, we're going Lime. It's Lemon and Lime, but we're starting with the Lime because it is the wooden coaster after all. We have 76 seconds in duration. The track length is 715 meters, max speeds of 50 miles per hour. G-forces are looking good. 6 total airtime counts and 4 seconds of airtime duration. Let's get right on this. All right, some very interesting nighttime lighting here. I love it, though. We're going to hop right over to Lemon now. Let's take a look at the coaster stats on the RMC. 73 seconds in duration, track length a little bit longer as the lift hill's a bit larger, and this one is doing inversions. Almost 900 meters in length, 60 miles per hour is the max speeds. Biggest drop, 36 meters. 2 inversions only on this one, and less airtime than the Woody. Let's switch it over to daytime and give Lemon a ride.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's speak about it for a second here. I actually want to talk about this nighttime lighting. While it is a little bit of a bombshelly crazy, I actually quite enjoyed it as the yellow and green kind of come together at times to create these nice shades and blends. It's really quite crazy, and, you know, not a lot of people actually take the time to light their coasters at nighttime, and it definitely created for an interesting POV. We ended up getting 6 really good POVs from that coaster spotlight experience, being the back of the train, the seat view, and the night view and track views as well. So definitely tons of content and different ways to experience these coasters here today. The overall build is really interesting. I like the little backstory gone into it. At first, when I saw some screenshots of this, I was like, oh, it's a dueling coaster. And then I loaded it up and I realized it's a wooden coaster versus a RMC, which made it even more interesting to me, got me even more excited. And that's not easy to do. Then when I took a closer look, I was like, oh, well, they're kind of out of sync. But then as I was grabbing the B-roll, they're not really. they do separate, they do come apart, but if anything, it's more like a racing coaster. See, they're tying, they're catching back up, one pulls ahead, and the way that the RMC twists and turns around and dances and intertwines itself around the wooden coaster is actually quite mesmerizing. It's a little symphony of a coaster dance here. Not really a dueling coaster, somewhat of a racing coaster, but more of a dance overall, and I really enjoy that. It's a
unique experience. I don't think I've ever featured anything like this on the channel before, where it's kind of two different coasters dueling in the traditional sense, where you would just have two wooden coasters or two RMCs going up the lift. This is a mixture halfway in between both of them. And I think that's an interesting concept. The actual build itself, like while we zoom out and we see all these trees, if you were to get one thing I would suggest to the builder is group all your trees. If somebody's going to download this blueprint, we always have links in the description below where you can download this. If you want to put this in your own park, these trees might impede on the park area that you're trying to build, right? So by putting them all into a group here, it's going to allow people to just go, okay, I'm going to grab that group and delete it. You know, it's doing it this way is not too bad, but if you've already have a park around it, you might have to, you know, you might have to take your time a little bit more, because you might be worried that you'll end up deleting your own park stuff. But the actual layout of the coaster is pretty cool, and I could see people putting this in their parks for sure. And the setup is actually quite nice as well. I like the boarding station here, how you have the entrance and exits going through here with these little bridgeways and tunnels, and it all links up to here with the little shopping plaza down below. You get some snacks, refill your money, go to the bathroom, and that sort of thing. It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. I'd say that the actual, like, you built your own custom stairs here. It's a kind of a waste of a part count, because you built them board by board by board, and the pathway doesn't really integrate that well into it. What I recommend to anybody building queues, always build your path first, because it's based off a snapping grid system. So you go out one, snap down, turn, snap down, and it's always going to look that same way every single time. So with that being said, you would basically take your custom build that you have here, and you would build that to the queue, if that makes sense, right? And then you just bring all that stuff up, right? You know what I'm getting at. But yeah, something like that. And then that way, whoever goes to put this in their park, it integrates really nice and snugly through there, and it looks a lot more clean. So just some minor feedbacks there. But yeah, like you could do garden work and all that if you wanted to. You just decided to go with the trees. So I think aesthetically, you could definitely turn it up a notch, make it a little bit more compact of a footprint and a little bit cleaner, because the way it is like this, just a few trees, and then if you did some garden work and rock work around here, I think that's perfect. A nice sign maybe out front for the lemon and lime, and you're cooking. So rather than going with the big giant crazy forest, which is usually not very appealing to look at, I'd say just tighten it up. And that would be my only feedback for you. The coasters were pretty fun, and I think it brought something unique to the table. So a really good job from Medaele with Lemon and Lime, a builder in this community. What did you guys think of what appears to be one of their first ever submissions to the channel? Fire away down in the comments below, and that is going to do it for me in today's episode of Coaster Spotlight. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now.